The royal family once again attracted public attention with the news that Princess Charlotte challenged Camilla in a heated argument, which shocked many. Camilla, a figure often associated with past controversies, stands in sharp contrast to Charlotte, who enjoys a reputation as a graceful and charming young royal. Charlotte is a very happy girl, confident in herself. She loves to perform and has a large personality. Headlines in tabloids point to an unexpected tension and dramatic revelations associated with these heated debates, raising the question, is there any substance behind these stories, or are they just sensationalist? Join us as we explore the dynamics and uncover the truth behind this intriguing royal encounter. Camilla's rocky path. Why any tension matters. The task of contrasting the public images of Camilla and Charlotte is crucial in understanding a potential clash between them. One is a symbol of modern royal rule, the other is a figure long associated with royal controversies. Sources report that Camilla has faced constant criticism since the 90s, as she is most remembered as the infamous other woman in the troubled marriage of Prince Charles and Princess Diana. Even decades after Diana's death, much of the public still struggles to accept Camilla as part of royal history. Unfiltered and often hostile comments on social media highlight the intensity of public resentment toward Camilla. Some people have directly said that perhaps she should crawl back under a rock, or have made nasty wishes to throw her off a cliff. While these messages are not representative of everyone, they show the persistent negativity that still clings to Camilla's image. Add to this the complex reality of her new title. When Queen Elizabeth II passed away, Camilla immediately became the Queen Consort. The role she assumed remains unfamiliar to many who still remember her as Charles's lover. The question of her rightful place in the monarchy ignites debates. Some accept her as a gracious wife of King Charles III, while others will never be able to separate her from past controversies involving Diana. Therefore, when a story emerges involving Camilla and such a beloved figure as Princess Charlotte, it naturally attracts interest. Charlotte, an 8-year-old girl, receives a lot of positive feedback, such as her charming waves from the balcony of Buckingham Palace or her diligent behavior at public events. She seems to be a direct contrast to Camilla's somber public image. If a story emerges stating that Charlotte got into a dispute or a heated argument with her stepmother, some segments of the public will automatically take Charlotte's side, seeing her actions as a symbolic defense of Princess Diana's memory or a challenge to Camilla's authority. It's also worth noting that Camilla's position as the step-grandmother to William and Harry's children is exceptionally delicate. There have been instances where Camilla supported them in her way, whether it be facilitating communication within the family or kindly interacting with the grandchildren. However, all these positive efforts are overshadowed by accusations and negative perceptions that have existed for decades, which resurface every time she makes the news. Thus, even a minor confrontation can take on enormous symbolic significance. What if it's not just Charlotte who disagrees with Camilla? This new generation of royals has encountered the controversial Queen Consort. And that's why this tension, no matter how fleeting or insignificant, really does matter. The funeral of Queen Elizabeth II, held in September of 2022, was the moment when the alleged heated dispute between Princess Charlotte and Camilla first arose. The funerals of British monarchs are a solemn event, typically organized with military precision. However, when cameras are following every step, even the smallest gesture can become a point of speculation online. Numerous sources, tabloids, and random posts on social media claim that a strange moment occurred between Camilla, Kate Middleton, and Princess Charlotte. Some observers claim to have read on the lips that Camilla said something like "take her," presumably referring to Charlotte, after a minor incident with Prince George. Others insist the phrase was rude, like "shut up." The truth, of course, is unclear. Live broadcasts of the funeral captured countless brief interactions. A child flinches, the grandmother leans in to whisper. Rumors thrive on this and all the contradictions. Some upload screenshots or slow-motion videos on YouTube, interpreting individual frames as evidence of Camilla's frustration or Charlotte's outburst. However, no official audio or Buckingham Palace statement has confirmed or denied these interpretations, leaving it all in the realm of speculation. What's important is how quickly these fleeting gestures turned into sensational headlines. Camilla snaps at Charlotte, Charlotte snaps back at Camilla. The perfect recipe for viral gossip, a beloved child vs a controversial royal figure at a grand ceremonial event. By the end of the day, the seeds of a potential rift between Charlotte and Camilla were firmly planted in the public's imagination. Soon after the funeral, unnamed insiders began recounting a moment when Camilla allegedly pushed Charlotte aside to discuss her behavior. These whispers spoke of Camilla's signature strictness when it came to maintaining decorum. These accounts claimed that Camilla firmly pointed out to Charlotte what, in her view, she should have done differently. Perhaps Charlotte had broken a minor rule, fidgeted at an inappropriate moment, spoken too loudly, or forgotten a small detail of protocol. Whatever the cause, Camilla, playing the experienced royal, used the gravity of the funeral to emphasize the responsibility of public figures, regardless of age. Insiders emphasized that Camilla's manners were strict enough to show that she was serious. Charlotte, they say, reacted with restrained surprise, politely defending herself. The child denied having done anything improper, claiming it was just a misunderstanding. The situation that arose may have been complicated. Camilla reminded Charlotte of her role, while Charlotte, with wide eyes, insisted she had done nothing wrong. Observers reported tension and emotional displays, which is not surprising given the generational gap. Insiders also noted that the entire family felt uncomfortable due to Camilla's approach. The role of Princess Charlotte is still considered secondary compared to Prince George, although such education is standard. The sudden increase in her training level raised speculation that the royal family wants to avoid any future tensions between the younger and older generations. The connection for tabloids was obvious. If Charlotte and Camilla indeed had a disagreement over breach of decorum, it wouldn't shock King Charles III or senior courtiers if Charlotte's education was accelerated. They might have seen it as something beneficial, improving her understanding of protocol and promoting respectful interaction with senior royal figures. The palace could avoid misunderstandings in the future. Skeptics argue that the timing is coincidental since Charlotte is at an age where, considering her position as third in line to the throne, deeper education can begin. However, supporters insist that this new educational approach confirms rumors that the monarchy was forced to act, possibly to prevent a recurrence of heated debates. Insiders discussing the upbringing of royal children suggest that Charlotte's revised training includes fine-tuned curtsies, how and when to show respect to kings or high-ranking individuals, readiness to engage with the media, training in age-appropriate strategies for communicating with cameras and potential paparazzi, cultural and diplomatic briefings, basic knowledge of other royal families, heads of states, and international protocols, as well as the modeling of public events. Periodically, rehearsals are arranged so she can practice greetings, social conversations, and posture without the pressure of real crowds. While all of this is kept secret, leaks from palace staff about these activities only reinforce the idea that Charlotte may soon play a more significant role, possibly sooner than expected. As whispers continued in the palace about intensified etiquette training after the heated debates, the question arose, is this a temporary clash or does it reveal deeper currents in the evolving monarchy? The royal parents' approaches to raising children from different generations should be considered when discussing the saga of Charlotte and Camilla. It is important to remember that child-rearing styles in the royal family are neither static nor universal. If there was indeed a moment when Camilla interfered in Charlotte's upbringing, the public's reaction may have been partly influenced by how royal education has evolved over time and how this development affects society's expectations. Historically, the monarchy has maintained a certain detached approach to raising children. Queen Elizabeth II herself once said that she and her sister Princess Margaret were raised by palace staff and governesses while their parents juggled the enormous responsibilities of the crown. Even Prince Charles's upbringing followed a strict and somewhat attached pattern, resulting in some royal commentators noting that he rarely showed outward affection, even as a young father. Today, Prince William and Kate Middleton are often seen as models of a new wave in royal parenting. They emphasize closeness, hugs, and playful teasing on school trips. Gone are the days when young princes and princesses were rarely seen, except at official ceremonies. Influenced by the more practical approach of his late mother, Princess Diana, Prince William has publicly stated that he wants to be emotionally closer to his children. The warmth and everyday behavior of Kate with Prince George, Princess Charlotte, and Prince Louis regularly attract media attention. Camilla, now Queen Consort, bridges two worlds. Once part of the older, more reserved royal dynasty, she has also embraced fatherhood in a way that once seemed unfamiliar. In the scenario where Camilla allegedly reprimanded Charlotte, it may be that Camilla naturally returned to the more strict environment she once knew, where swift discipline or a stern tone were common. However, observers used to seeing Kate gently guide Charlotte might highlight the competing parental philosophies. William and Kate's more modern style values open self-expression and curiosity, while Camilla's generation follows a more top-down approach. Although these differences might seem minor behind palace walls, any hint of tension could be magnified, as has happened countless times throughout royal history, turning fleeting moments into lasting legends. Historical parallels are often drawn, with minor royal disagreements turning into major headlines. The long history of the British monarchy is filled with anecdotes where fleeting conflict, sometimes between siblings or between senior and junior royals, became tabloid fodder, evolving into epic rivalries. One of the earliest examples was the rumored rivalry between then Princess Elizabeth, later Queen Elizabeth I, and her younger sister, Princess Margaret. While their relationship was largely loving and supportive, the press picked up on signs of tension, starting with differences in their choice of clothing and even a minor scandal at a party involving Margaret. These small gestures, like Margaret's eye rolls or stepping out of line at an event, became sensational stories about royal missteps. Perhaps nowhere has this pattern been more apparent than with Princess Anne, who seemed to inherit Princess Margaret's mantle in creating complex royal headlines. Although Anne's alleged rebellion focused more on social protocols, her direct pragmatism, especially in dealing with the press, painted her as confrontational. However, over time, it became clear that Anne's straightforward style was simply her genuine way of coping with the relentless public attention, not hostility as it was once portrayed. Each sibling dispute between Prince William and Prince Harry, from a casual disagreement at a polo match to differences in official duties, has been presented by tabloids as deep rifts. As tensions over royal roles and Harry's decision to step back from royal duties intensified, the press leaned into the narrative of ongoing sibling rivalry. In royal traditions, these historical parallels show how seemingly minor incidents can become headline material if filtered through the lens of public attention. The mystique of the monarchy, combined with deeply rooted emotional connections, whether through memories of Diana or loyalty to particular royal figures, turns even the slightest hint of discord into front-page news. Still, perhaps the most intriguing aspect of this royal dynamic comes when we consider the complex figure of Queen Consort Camilla. Her very presence continues to spark passionate debate and contradictory narratives, with her often cast as an antagonist in the ever-changing saga of the British monarchy. Queen Consort Camilla is often depicted as a villain by the public, despite her many years of charity work, ranging from supporting victims of domestic violence to promoting literacy initiatives. There remains a strong current that associates her with the emotional turmoil of Princess Diana, reinforcing her reputation as a homewrecker, even decades after the events. For many who admire Diana's legacy, Camilla will always be the one who intruded on Charles and Diana's troubled marriage. No matter how harmonious Charles and Camilla's union may seem today, the emotional imprint of the past remains. Thus, any signs of tension, such as rumors of heated disputes with Princess Charlotte or whispers of Camilla being harsh in her approach to raising Charlotte, only strengthen the view that Camilla is a strict and unwelcome force. Ironically, Camilla's philanthropy represents the image of someone far removed from the fairy tale villain she is sometimes made out to be. She has long supported organizations that help victims of domestic violence, a cause that many consider noble and necessary. She attends events, meets with those affected, and works to raise public awareness of their plight. One could argue that nothing in her extensive charitable efforts aligns with the caricature of a scheming antagonist often painted by tabloids and social media trolls. Nevertheless, for those who remain unconvinced, they view her philanthropic work skeptically, as if it's a strategy to redeem herself for past missteps. When the news broke about a heated confrontation between Camilla and young Princess Charlotte, this archetype of the wicked stepmother resurfaced in the tabloids, portraying Camilla as the disciplinary figure. Meanwhile, any backstage warmth or genuine understanding that Camilla might share with her step-granddaughter receives much less attention from the media. In the end, the question remains, will Camilla's charitable efforts and evolving public persona eventually overshadow her past controversies enough to change public perception? Time may soften harsh judgments, especially if younger generations focus more on her positive work than the turbulent stories of the 1990s. However, it is impossible to escape the fact that for a significant portion of the public, Camilla's philanthropy will never fully compensate for the view that she was, and perhaps still remains, an unwelcome figure in the monarchy. Judging by recent reports from insiders and the rapid increase in Charlotte's education, it is easy to see why many suspect that heated debates are taking place behind the palace walls. Is so, this confrontation highlights both Charlotte's growing confidence and Camilla's unwavering commitment to royal etiquette, factors that could influence the monarchy in unexpected ways. At the same time, Camilla's broader philanthropic activities, as well as her evolving public persona, may help her overcome past contradictions and shape how the public ultimately views her role. Nonetheless, questions remain. Will Camilla's charitable work and changing image help shift public opinion enough to overshadow her past controversies? And can Charlotte's next steps truly alter the monarchy's approach to tradition and modernity, thus reducing the influence of rumors about disputes? Share your thoughts with us in the comments below. If you enjoyed this article, don't forget to subscribe for new insights into royal affairs. Feel free to comment below your thoughts on whether this rumored heated argument is exaggerated or reflects deeper contradictions. We look forward to seeing you in the next issue.